This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. And in the news for December 10, 2022, 2 presumed dead, 4 in custody after Manchester supermarket robbery. 4 men are in custody and 2 people are presumed dead after gunmen opened fire during a supermarket robbery in Porus in Manchester on Friday evening. Preliminary reports are that about 7 p.m., 4 armed robbers held up the supermarket, said to be operated by a Chinese national. It is unclear as to what was stolen from the establishment at this time, but the gunmen reportedly opened fire as they fled the scene, hitting 2 people. Head of the Manchester Police, Superintendent Shane McCullough, said a roadblock was immediately set up to apprehend the hoodlums west of Porus at Williams Field. They carried out a robbery at the supermarket, and on the way out they started to fire randomly, and the 2 people were shot. Based on that, the police quickly set up a roadblock, and the men were intercepted, he said. The 4 men were taken into custody, while 3 firearms, an AK-47, and 2 handguns, and a ballistic vest were seized, McCullough said. The police suspect that the gunmen may be linked to a robbery earlier Friday at a gas station in Christiana. These latest incidents follow armed robberies in Crosskeys and Knockpatrick, both in Manchester on Tuesday and Wednesday. On Thursday, 2 suspects were held in relation to those incidents. Flo calls for harsher penalties for copper thieves. Country manager for Flow Communications, Stephen Price, is calling for harsher punishment for copper thieves. The call comes after 250 to 300 meters of cable, valued at $3 million, was stolen from the telecommunications company on Thursday morning. Speaking at a press conference on Thursday, Mr. Price said the current fines and the punishment are not appropriate with the disruption caused by the theft.
I know we've worked hard with Minister Vaz, shared with him some of the legislative changes that we believe are necessary, and I know he's definitely on board in terms of moving that. But we have to address the penalties under the legislation. It really has to be set at such levels that it acts that's instant deterrence to anyone who contemplates such offense. Right now, a criminal can make a business case and say, well, I paid a $250,000 fine, yeah, I'm going back into the business again. An act of vandalism of telecoms infrastructure could be prosecuted under the Terrorism Prevention Act. The penalty for this offense is life imprisonment, and it is that serious.
Technology Minister Darrell Vaz, who was also present at the press conference, said changes are being made to the Telecommunications Act to facilitate a greater punishment for breaches.
The Telecommunications Act is being revised, and of course we will go to the maximum fines that are allowed in the parish court, which I think is between $3 and $5 million, and 3 to 5 years imprisonment, and second offense would be $5 million and up to 15 years. Again, I feel strongly that we have to take a look at this and see how we can encompass this as we also are looking at the Cybercrimes Act.
Driver narrowly escapes a serious injury after truck overturns in Manchester. A truck driver narrowly escaped serious injuries after the unit he was operating overturned on the Hatfield main road on the outskirts of Mandeville on Friday. Preliminary reports are that sometime Friday evening, the driver lost the control of the truck, which was laden with marl, causing the unit to overturn. The accident has caused a pileup of traffic on the crucial main road, which links Mandeville and the points west. Crosskeys remains on edge after gunmen embarked on robbery spree. It was like a scene out of a movie, a resident of Crosskeys in Manchester told the news as she recalled the horrifying experience of being held up at an establishment in which she works earlier this week. The stillness in the small town square was shattered on Wednesday as 6 gunmen embarked on a robbery spree, pillaging a cookshop, a bar, a lottery outlet, and a gas station. Their rampage was halted when a licensed firearm holder engaged them in a shootout, which resulted in him and one of the alleged robbers getting shot. The licensed firearm holder is said to be recovering. The robbers reportedly escaped in a waiting vehicle but they left behind a cloud of fear hanging over the peaceful community where residents say such incidents never occur. The woman said she was inside one of the establishments when one of the robbers entered and demanded all the cash. The moment when I started feeling really afraid was when I opened the cubicle door and I took out the pan to take out the cash. And then him started asking, "Where's the rest?" And I didn't have any to give him. I started thinking that he might think I am holding on to cash and shoot me, she said. Another business operator on the same plaza said that approximately $200,000 worth of goods and money were taken from the business and from a customer. "In my lifetime, this is the first time something like this happened in this community. The crime is just spreading everywhere," she said. Still reeling from the traumatic experience, she tearfully recalled how the gunman, one of whom was masked, charged into her establishment, held a gun to her head and demanded money. "When me look up in the nine, me see me whole life flash before me. Me see me 3 youth them motherless. My mother and father have heart attack and dead," she said. Residents believe that the masked robber is from the community and that he brought the others there. The young boys them don't want work. Them just want scope out a place, and at the same time, them no know the hustling and struggling where business people go through. Them no understand. The youth them just want easy life, one resident said. Since the incident, residents of the community have been uneasy and many have opted to stay off the streets, a far cry from the usually carefree rural way of living. Right now, you hardly see anybody on the street because people are scared. Christmas is coming and persons that live in the United States or Canada and want to come home. When them hear this, everybody are going to change their mind from coming, said one concerned resident on Friday. One taxi operator from the community admitted that he has been on the edge since the incident. "Me feel threatened because we can't get out on the road in a peace. We don't know what will happen next. Just like how them rob the gas station, the bar, the cook shop. Them can't rob we," he told the news, adding that the business have been closing as early as 7 o'clock each evening since the robberies. Superintendent Shane McCullough, commanding officer for the Manchester Police Division, told the news that his team has since increased patrols in the community. A similar incident occurred at approximately 6 p.m. on Tuesday in Knockpatrick, Manchester at a gas station. A pump attendant was reportedly held hostage in that incident, while other employees were robbed of their personal possessions. McCullough told the news that investigations are ongoing. However, he revealed that the men in Wednesday's robbery fled the scene in a vehicle linked to a car rental company in Clarendon and that 2 men were held in the parish. He said the police have reason to believe that the men from both incidents were connected to a series of robberies in other parishes. What they are doing are now targeting the quieter communities based on the level of police presence and pressure that we're putting in the more urban areas. We have now implemented certain strategies to deal with that, he said. Meanwhile, Bobsy Allen, vice chairman of the Cross Keys Community Association, believes a re-establishment of the neighborhood watch will help to prevent such incidents. "If we have all those things in place, Tom Jones round the road, who see a strange vehicle coming to Cross Keys, could alert me. I could also alert the police to stop and check. And we are going to be asking the citizens to work with the police because this issue here affects just about all the people," he said. Jamaica not surprised by Canada's travel advisory. Jamaican government officials say they are not surprised by the latest travel advisory issued by Canada warning its citizens to exercise a high degree of caution in Jamaica due to an increase in violent crime. The advisory was issued despite the widespread states of emergency declared by Prime Minister Andrew Holness to curtail the surge in gang violence and the murders. But Delano Steve Wright, senior strategist in the tourism ministry, has called the advisory nothing new. In an interview with the news, he asserted that it is unlikely the advisory will negatively affect the country's tourism industry. Despite many advisories over the years, he said visitors and the potential visitors to Jamaica understand that in every country there are some parts that are not particularly safe and there are some areas that are very safe. As a result, he noted that Jamaica's visitor arrivals have not been affected.
For years, the United States, Canada, and other major countries have put out advisories on every country in the world. And in Jamaica, they highlight that there are parts of the country that are deemed unsafe, and that has been standard for many years.
What we have realized is that the consumer, our visitors and our potential visitors, understand that in every country there are some parts that are not particularly safe and there are some areas that are very safe. And for the most part, it has not had a negative impact at all on our brand nor our arrival numbers.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.